Hello there, I'm Layla Stella and you're tuned in to Speak Real English. I want to start off by saying how much I appreciate you for watching on YouTube or listening through the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. In today's lesson, we're diving into how to talk about your personality in a way that sounds completely natural, just like native speakers do. These are not the kind of words you'll usually see in a textbook. These are expressions and vocabulary that real people use in everyday conversations, especially in casual, friendly settings. That's what this is all about, learning English that sounds authentic, not robotic or rehearsed. So many of you have reached out asking for tips on how to describe yourselves, especially when introducing yourselves to new people or during conversations in English lessons. It's one thing to learn basic vocabulary, but it's another to actually sound like you know what you're doing, right? Before we get into the language itself, let me just say that speaking naturally comes from regular practice. A lot of learners feel shy or unsure when speaking, especially when they want to talk about themselves in an interesting or accurate way. But trust me, that's totally normal. That's exactly why learning these words today will help boost your confidence and fluency. While I'm not offering one-on-one online lessons myself at the moment, I do want to point you toward a trusted platform where you can connect with native-speaking teachers. Italki has been fantastic for learners, and they've got a special offer for the Speak Real English community. That means you can apply these new expressions right away in conversation with a real tutor who will help you speak more naturally and fluently. Now let's look at some great ways to describe your personality in English. Imagine you're meeting someone new or joining a group for a class or an event. You want to introduce yourself in a way that feels true to who you are but also sounds smooth in English. One common word you might already know is cool. But what does cool really mean in this context? It's a slang term used to describe someone who is easy to talk to, confident but not arrogant, modern, and often fun to be around. It's used by people of all ages. So if you say, "I'm a cool person," you're telling someone you're relaxed and approachable. But let's go deeper and look at some other words with similar meanings. If someone is down to earth, that means they're practical and easy to relate to. They don't act superior or try to show off. Instead, they stay calm, friendly, and genuine. You could say, "I like working with down-to-earth people," or "she's really down to earth," which makes her easy to talk to. It's a great phrase to know and use when you want to sound more natural in everyday conversation. Let me hear you say it out loud, down to earth. Good. Now try putting it in a sentence. Another way to describe someone calm and relaxed is to say they're laid back. This describes a person who doesn't stress easily, who takes things as they come, and who doesn't get upset over small things. You could say, "He's super laid back, nothing bothers him," or "I try to stay laid back even when things get busy." It's an excellent word if you want to let someone know that you're not the kind of person who panics under pressure. Next, we've got the phrase easygoing. This one's very close in meaning to laid back, but it also implies someone who gets along with others easily, who's friendly, flexible, and goes with the flow. Someone who is easygoing might be open to last-minute plans or happy to go along with whatever the group decides. For example, you might say, "I'm pretty easygoing, I don't need to plan everything out," or "She's an easygoing teacher, really chill and helpful." Again, try saying that, easygoing. Then try making your own sentence using it. Now let's look at the opposite kind of personality, because it's important to understand contrast in English vocabulary. The opposite of someone easygoing or laid back is often called type A. A type A personality is usually more intense, highly organized, goal-driven, and sometimes a bit controlling. They like structure, they like routines, and they like getting things done efficiently. You might say, "He's very type A, he plans everything down to the minute," or "She's a type A personality, always early and super focused." Some people consider this positive because it shows motivation and ambition, while others might find it too rigid or stressful. Either way, it's a common phrase you'll hear in real conversation. Let's hear it together, type A. Now try, "I'm more of a type A personality." There's also a term for the opposite of type A, and that's type B. A type B person is generally more relaxed, less driven by deadlines, and more flexible with change. If someone asks you what kind of personality you have, you might say, "I'm more type B. I like to take things as they come." This is a simple way to describe your overall attitude, and it helps people understand your vibe. So which one are you? Would you say you're more easygoing, laid back, and down to earth, or are you a bit more of a type A person, always planning ahead and getting things done? Everyone is different, and that's what makes conversations interesting. Feel free to tell me in the comments. I'd love to know how you would describe yourself using these new words. Make sure you keep practicing, not just by watching these videos or listening to the podcast, but by actually speaking. You can do that by using the new words when talking to a friend, writing them in your journal, or practicing with a teacher on a site like Italki. If you're enjoying these kinds of real, everyday English lessons, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the Speak Real English podcast on iTunes. That way, you'll always get the latest tips right when they come out. Thank you so much for being here and being part of the community. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll be back again with more useful phrases and vocabulary that you won't find in a textbook. And next time, we're going to talk about 3 more expressions you can use every day in real-life conversations. I'll see you then. Take care and keep speaking real English.